James, the results are in the Carville Hunt survey of the most dangerous Trump appointees, the worst of the worst. Number 4 is the Attorney General Pam Bondi, who got 9. They were, by the way, they were over 1,000 votes. This is pretty darn good. Peter Hart and Bob Teeter used to say all you needed was 840 or something for a national poll. Anyway, Pam Bondi got 9.2%. She's the worst attorney general maybe in history. Palmer and Mitchell were close. She'll do whatever Trump asks her. So therefore, there is no sense. I mean, if you're a Republican, you can get away with anything you want. And now she's trying to figure out a way to cover up something that's terribly embarrassing in the files of that predator, Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, I didn't vote for her because she's odious, but she has no power. I mean, Stephen Miller tells her what to do. I mean, she's a gopher. She's not like an attorney general at all. So I devalued her for a lack of power. Not that when she's told to do something, she's very compliant, but that's all she does is what she's told.
Yeah, I agree with that. Third place, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth with 10.6% of the vote. James, you start on him.
Well, I voted for him because I think the damage is more permanent that he can do. And when you start getting rid of really good officers and replacing them with really bad officers, it takes a long time to unring that bell. And, a lot of stuff, you can cure pretty quickly. Some stuff, it becomes inbred and it just becomes almost impossible to change it until you have a lot of time. So Hegseth, I think, is the most dangerous because I think he's in the position to really do the most damage.
Well, this is a tough contest, but he may be the least qualified. He's a man with a really sordid history. I was tempted, but I didn't vote for him, although I agree with everything you just said, because I don't think he's running the Defense Department. I think there are other people who are making decisions. White House, Stephen Miller is involved there, and a guy named Bridge Colby, a relative of the former CIA director, William Colby. So I think Hegseth will be doing bad things. He has done bad things. He's a terrible role model for people. I think the flag officers are going to have contempt for him. But I just, I couldn't quite pull that lever because I think he's not very effective.
Trump they don't even know some of the stuff, some of the arms he's given. Trump don't even know.
Right.
I mean, the Secretary of Defense on his own, because he's number 2 in the chain of command, is in a position to do what he does, and no one's going to question him. And he apparently doesn't wait for orders sometimes. It doesn't tell people what he's doing.
And sometimes he doesn't even know what the orders are.
What they're doing. And
right.
Watching that idiot waltz on Senator Booker, and I guess it was Senator White House, questioning him about the signal stuff. I mean, how could she look at this stupid son of a bitch and lying through, like just lying? He called him, of course, Joe Biden's fault. God damn.
I think Obama and Clinton deserve some of the blame too, James. I mean, really. And we may really have to go back to Jimmy Carter before it's all over. In second place, runner-up, getting 14.7% of the votes, 193 votes, was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I think the strong case for Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who I really believe has disgraced the family name, and I think a number of the family members feel the same way, is people are going to die because of Bobby Kennedy's anti-vaccine diatribes. Already measles are at a 33-year high, and I think a lot of other damage is going to be done. And he is really going to decimate the public health system in America. And if there is another COVID-type epidemic, and there will be someday, James, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is doing everything to make sure we are ill prepared for it.
Well, I completely agree with one thing is I don't think, you can pick your nose, you can pick your friends, you can pick an apple, you can't pick your relatives. Mm-hmm. All right. And it's, given how many Kennedys there are, it's pretty remarkable. You got to have one crazy one, and they seem to do everything in excess, and he does craziness in excess. But I don't know if he's disgraced the family name. He's just crazy. That's all.
He's a dangerous choice, that's for sure.
Yes, for sure. And I mean, look at this. Everything that you see is like insane. And sent to Bill Cassidy, Louisiana, who knows better? You talk about selling your soul to the devil. That's where it is.
Well, he got a commitment for Robert Kennedy. He took it for real. He thought Robert Kennedy would keep it, which of course he hasn't.
Yeah.
And they've gotten rid of that board of experts and replaced them mainly with RFK hacks and sycophants. James, the winner, actually the runaway winner, with 37.3% of the vote. Now, 37.3% of the vote in an 11-person field, none of whom in this category of the worst and the most dangerous are people that don't merit some attention, is Stephen Miller, Deputy White House Chief of Staff. I voted for Stephen Miller because I think his damage is so pervasive. It's not just immigration, which I'll turn to in a minute. He gets involved with the Justice Department. He even gets involved with the Defense Department. He is said to want to be the next national security advisor. And on immigration, he is one of the great hate mongers of all times. He took delight when they separated parents from children. These days, he is ordering, Kristi Noem and that thuggish Tom Homan just take their orders from Stephen Miller. Remember, they told us in the beginning, we're going to prioritize people who have records, people who are criminals. Bullshit. They go after anything. And I think Stephen Miller is maybe the worst person to serve in the executive branch I've ever known.
There's certainly a colorable case for that, to say the least. I mean, it's something really fundamentally, I don't know, not right. I don't know if he even has human responses. I really don't. But what he does have is, for now, is enormous power. Yes.
Total confidence in Trump. His uncle wrote a great piece saying that he was an immigration hypocrite because his family, in the turn of the last century, had emigrated to escape anti-Semitism from Belarus. Mr. Miller wants no part of his family history.
I don't think his family wants much more of him either.
That's true. Oh, God. Anyway, you guys voted. You did a great job out there. Over 1,000 respondents, and I think you did pretty well. I think James, we probably can agree that the top three, Miller, RFK, and Hegseth, were the most deserving top three.
Yeah, I agree, and Pam Bondi is a gopher, so that's why I wouldn't have put her in there. But man, about Kristi Noem. I mean, now we're finding out there's this, the disastrous response to flooding. Now she's moving into the Coast Guard commandant's house or something like that with Corey. I don't know, quite what's going on there, but those people be interested. Just Google Kristi Noem, Corey Lewandowski.
Isn't this the Family Values Administration?
I think. Well, to be honest, I don't think they claim that anymore.
James, this is not what we're talking about today, but I can't help but point out the Wall Street Journal story that quoted verbatim a congratulations 50th birthday note that Donald Trump sent Jeffrey Epstein back in 2003. Trump, of course, denied it, said he's going to sue the Journal, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch. And Trump said at one point, because it was really a dirty note, does that sound like me? The answer, you bet it does, Donald.
So you've observed the United States political media maybe as long and as well as anybody I know. If I would have told you that the Wall Street Journal would have 10 times the courage that CBS News had, you wouldn't have believed me. Said, "Come on, James. I know new anchors at CBS. I worked at the Wall Street Journal. CBS News is the golden standard for American broadcast journalism. I mean, Edward R. Murrow and Walter Cronkite.
Definitely network. Right.
Yeah, you go on and on. And they just at the beck and call of Trump because Paramount wants to sell. But I would have never said that I would find I say it now, the Wall Street Journal significantly more reliable news source than CBS News.
Well, yeah, I am agreeing with you, although I think it's for a long time been a reliable news source. It was the editorial page.
Right.
They had different views, but their editorial page is certainly more courageous these days than CBS News. And there was a story today that David Rhodes, who I know might take the job of the president of CBS News. I hope he does not do that because, David, that will be your legacy. If you go back, this is an organization. They just firing Stephen Colbert because I say it's a financial decision. Bullshit. It's not a financial decision.
No. The guy makes money like crazy for him. It's all they want to get the merger approved, and that's what that's one of the dangers. But you're right, and you got to give as much as you reluctant to do it. Murdoch pretty hands off on when they sold it. A lot of people you were concerned that he would get involved on the news side.
Mm-hmm.
Not that much evidence that that's the case. A lot of people work there. I really trust it, and Josh Dorsey being one of them. But I always return their phone calls. I found them to be pretty straightforward.
It remains a great newspaper. Listen, you guys, we love this contest, the most dangerous Trump appointee. If any of you out there have any suggestions for a new contest, then please send them to us. Send them to Politicon, and we'll see if we can get it going.
Yeah, we like contests.
And I want to tell you, we are more prepared than ever because James Carville has a new laptop. So we're ready to roar, baby.
Yeah, thanks to the Apple store at Rosedale Mall and right outside of Minneapolis. It couldn't have been more helpful.